Kitchen. I just want to shout out to all my viewers, all my subscribers. I just want to say that I hope you guys are doing well and keeping safe. Today I'm going to be sharing one of my childhood recipe with you guys. A recipe that my mom used to make for us when we were growing up. She used to make most of our snacks homemade, and this is none other but mithai. And mithai is a sweet it's a sweet thing that is similar to donuts, but only this one is a little bit more on the harder, or it's a little bit smaller, but it have that same kind of texture and taste and all that, like a donut. But this one, in back home in Ghana, we used to call them mithai, and this was one of my childhood treat when I was growing up. So I'm gonna be sharing it with you guys, and I just want to shout out to my niece Carrie, because she's the one who inspired me to make mithai today. So if you come on down, we're gonna show you guys the step by step, and hope you guys like this recipe. Okay guys, so for the mithai that we're making, I have 3 cups of flour in here, and then I'm gonna add and I'm using 5 rose flour. I'm gonna add I'm gonna add actually 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm using magic baking powder. So I want to add everything before I go ahead and knead the dough. And I'm gonna add in here 1/2 cup of coconut, because when you're making your mithai, you want to have a nice little coconut, like you want to have nice little piece of coconut in there, because I'm making the soft mithai, not the crunchy one. And I want to add about 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we're going to flavor up our flour before we mix the dough. And about 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I like how that is looking already. And then I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So nicely we're gonna add that. And guys, if you don't like nutmeg, you can leave it out. If you don't like cinnamon, you can leave it out. If you don't like the coconut, or you don't have coconut, it's optional as well. And for a little bit of extra flavor, what I like to do, and this you don't have to add it, this only because I have it, and sometimes I don't use it as much. So I'm gonna add a little 1/2 teaspoon of custard powder, and this is gonna give a nice flavor. 1/2 teaspoon of custard powder, and this have a nice flavor for the mithai. It smells so creamy. Jess, can you smell it?
Yeah.
So and then you want to mix it up nicely, because when you're eating this mithai and you flavor it up, it's gonna be so delicious. This is not the crunchy one. There's so many different ways, but sometimes there is a softer version than the crunchy one. But today I'm making the softer version. And another thing you want to do, you want to knead this dough not with water, but you can knead it with milk. You can knead it with cream. You can knead it with any kind of milk that you prefer. But I'm going to use today, I'm using coconut milk. And in here I have freshly squeezed coconut milk from our machine that we have. So we took the whole coconut and we break it and then squeeze the juice out, the milk, sorry. And I have about 2 cups in here that I'm gonna knead the dough with. And guys, think about how nice this is gonna be. Again, I said you can use milk, any milk of your choice. You don't have to put the coconut milk. This is optional. I'm just doing it because that's how I like it. And then if you don't like milk, and you can't use dairy products, this is another way of mixing your dough with coconut milk. Or if you don't have coconut milk, you can also use water. So guys, you can play around with it. You don't have to put the exact ingredients that I am adding to mine, but you can change it up as best as you like, because I don't think there is no right and wrong way. The more you play around, you will always get a different, and you would always have a new version or a different version, or sometimes a better version. So please feel free to play around and with the spices, and you can have a different one, you can have a better one, like I said. But I put in my 2 cups of coconut milk, and this is holding up nicely. I can see the flour color looks a little bit brown, and that's because of the cinnamon and the nutmeg. And I can smell, this is smelling so great. So I'm gonna knead this up into a big dough, and then I'll show you guys how it looks. Okay guys, so I break them up, the big dough, into 3 different balls. And then what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna roll it off, and then you usually roll it and cut it. I don't wanna put too much flour on the surface, because when I'm frying, it's gonna make it's gonna be too much flour in the oil, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna try to use less flour, and then I will show you guys how we're doing this. So I want to roll it off. This we had to, like, for this mithai, you have to make the dough a little bit more harder, like a little bit more not too much on the soft sticky side, because you want this to be you want to be able to cut it. So we have to make it a little bit more on the firmer side, I should say. So if you look closely, you will see those little coconut pieces, which will be very nice into this mithai. So what you want to do is cut little strips like that, and so you want to cut nice little pieces, nice little strips, and then you want to cut them back into small bite-sized pieces, so like that. So I'm gonna cut strips first, and then I'll show you guys what's the next step. So you make sure that you cut everything into nice little strips, and then what you usually do is cut them back into little pieces like that. So when you fry them, you're gonna have little pieces, little bite-sized pieces like that. And guys, this is what my mom used to make for us when we were growing up. I remember this from back home. And most of our snacks and our sweet stuff would be homemade. Back home when we were growing up, our parents and the people in our village and everybody in my age, our family most of the time, they used to make our snacks themselves instead of store-bought. And that was really special, because the day when you know your mom is making a snack, you'll be very excited. You want to help out, you want to do all your chores early so you can get to enjoy what your mother is making. So guys, this brings back a lot of childhood memory. And for all my Guyanese friends and families who are watching, they will remember that the exact way how I am feeling, that's how we all used to be waiting patiently for our mom to make our homemade snack. So on the stove here, I have my oil heating up, and you want to put them in, and I think it's hot. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Is it on? Oh, you turn it off?
Oh, because I was making the sound.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sorry
guys. Jessica turned it off because she said it was making sound. So we're gonna have to wait until this is hot before I start frying them. You wanna fry them into, it's actually cooking. You see it's turning up. You wanna fry them into medium to low heat because you want it to cook through and not to be brown on the outside and raw in the inside. So you wanna make sure that it's cooking on medium to slow to take its time and cook, because if you look at these, there is a little bit of thickness to it. So you want to make sure that it's cooking right through and not, Jessica, no, you don't throw in before it splatter on you.
Oh.
So if you notice the ones that I'm throwing in, it'll go to the bottom and then after a few seconds it will float right up to the top. And guys, I'm using coconut oil to fry with, and the reason why it's looking frothy, that's the flour. That is the flour in the oil that's making that white frothiness. So I'm gonna keep stirring these until they're golden brown, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. So guys, here they are. They're done. I'm gonna take this batch out, and then I will put in another batch, and then I'll keep repeating the same step until I'm done with all of them, and then I'll show you guys how they look. Here it is. We finished frying the whole batch. So the next step we have to do now is make a syrup to put on top, and I'm going to be working on that soon. But before I go and do that, I have something that I want to show to all my viewers and all my subscribers. This message I'm sending to you guys. So I hope you can recognize what I tried to write here. It's not easy to make it with the actually fried pieces because they're different shapes. So I tried to send a message to all my viewers and all my subscribers in my food, because I know you guys are my great big supporters. Actually feel like you guys are my family now, because every day I'm inviting you into my kitchen with my food and my all the goodies that I make. So I just want to say a big shout out to all my viewers, all my subscribers, and I just want to hope that you guys are being safe. So here I put B and here safe, and I'm pretty sure that you guys catch on what I was trying to write. So this is my message to all of you wonderful people. So let me start making the syrup, and I'll show you guys how we start doing that. Guys, we're gonna start making the syrup, and I have in here, I'm gonna put 2 cups of water. Yep, I put 2 cups of water, and then I'm gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar because we're making a syrup. And I want to put in here, one moment, this is when you're trying to make stuff and you're not prepared. So I have the 2 cups of water, 1 cup of brown sugar, and I'm gonna add a few cardamom in here. So I just want to split the cardamom before I put it in, so the flavor of the cardamom can open and infuse into the syrup. And I am adding 3 of those, and these are the full cardamom, it's not the powder. I'm just gonna let it cook in the syrup, and this will infuse very nicely into here. And the other thing I wanted to add is some vanilla extract. And guys, if you have orange peel, so a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And if you have orange peel, you can also use it in here, but I don't have any at the moment. So all I'm using is the cardamom and the vanilla extract, my brown sugar, 1 cup, and 2 cups of water. And once this is nice and thickened up, then we'll add it to the mithai. So we'll come back and show you guys the next step. Guys, to know when the syrup is ready, it's gonna start looking like this, like very frothy, and then you have to lift it up with your spoon, and when you see it's starting to fall one after the other, like very slowly, like that, then you know it's done. This one is not completely done yet because when I lift it up, it's still so runny. So I have to wait a little bit more until it's like going one by one drop, until, and then you know that's ready. But be careful with the syrup. The syrup is very, very, very hot. Don't let it go on your fingers, or don't let it touch your skin, because at this point it is very, very hot. So I'm gonna let it go a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna pour it over our beautiful, beautiful mithai that I have waiting. Okay guys, so now it's falling one by one by one, and that's when you know it's ready. So I'm gonna turn this off the stove, and we are gonna mix this up nicely. So to mix this properly, I cannot mix it like this. I have to pour it in a bigger bowl, and then I'm gonna mix it in that big bowl because I'm gonna get more room to turn it up. So I wanna put my syrup little by little over it, and then I'm gonna turn it up, but I have to get like a metal spoon to help me out here. So let me grab a metal spoon, and then we'll come right back. I'm gonna start drizzling little by little on top of this the mithai, and I have the cardamom and everything that's gonna fall in there, and a little bit of vanilla extract that I put. The kitchen and my living room is smelling so nice with that cardamom and that vanilla scent. Jessie was coming downstairs and she said, oh my god, the house smells so good. So I'm gonna turn this up, and you want to put enough that all of it is gonna get coated, and I can feel that they're getting nice and like they're getting nice and solid here. So we're gonna mix it up and then show you guys how it looks, because my hand is touching up to you. Jessica, let's mix up, and then you'll show them the end result.
Okay, Mom.
Okay guys, so we pour all the syrup and we mix it up. It's hot off the stove. So we're gonna let it cool down for a little, and then I'm gonna do the taste. Look how nice and shiny they look. Put it closer. Yeah, nice and shiny, like a glaze. So we're gonna let it cool down for a few minutes, and then I'll do the test and let you guys know how it tastes.
Yummy!
So guys, this is it. It's done. Ready to eat, nice and cool down. I put the rest of it in a bottle because this is what I remember my mom used to do. She used to put it in a bottle when for the remaining ones after we finish eating, and she'll cover it up, and that will keep it nice and fresh. So my remainder, I put it in a bottle, so every time when we're ready for some, we'll go back into here, and it's gonna be nice and fresh in there, and we're gonna go munch on these ones that we have in the bowl in the backyard. Okay guys, we're gonna do the taste now, and I have Matthew and Natalie who's gonna taste with me. Of course, Jess is behind the camera and she hardly get to taste anything, but Natalie, if you want to grab onto one and let me know what it tastes like, and Matthew, you're gonna taste after her. Well, let me know what it tastes like.
It tastes so sweet and crunchy.
Okay, so Matt, you can take yours.
This tastes so good. It tastes very sweet. It tastes kind of like a Timbit, and this is very good, like a very good sweet you should eat if you want something quick and fast.
Wow, it actually is, right? Look, so I'm gonna taste now, and I want to break it. Jesse, if you come closer. Yep, if you come closer, I just want to find one that's big enough that when I break it, there's a big one here. So I'm gonna show you guys how it looks inside, and it's still fluffy in the inside, and it's really nice and crunchy on the outside. And guys, it does, Matthew, that's the best way you describe it. It does taste actually like a Timbit. So I'm gonna taste.
It's kind of cold.
So nice. It's so crunchy on the outside, so soft in the inside, and on the outside you can taste that little cardamom hint, and you can taste the nutmeg and everything like that. Well, it really does taste like a Timbits, which is a mini donut. So for all my viewers and subscribers, I'm gonna take a bite for you guys. So good. So Guys, hope you guys like this step. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. If you like this recipe, please give me a thumbs up. Until then, we're gonna be sitting here enjoying our evening snack. Bye for now.